Hello and welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Ryan Meza, and I'm super excited to introduce this next guest. I'm joined with Tyler Lafferty. He's the co-founder of so many businesses here. I'll just list some: The Union, Method Juice Café, 7-2, Strategy Labs, Access2Experience. Busy man, you are.
There's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I'm really excited to get into those with you.
Thank you.
Especially The Union.
Thank you.
And Method Cafe.
Yeah.
Juice Cafe, sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are reopening this
we
Saturday.
Are, thankfully. Yeah.
Yes, it's been a long time coming, and I know everyone's excited.
Yeah.
At a new location. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
We do, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the Union is now going to be, the downtown location is actually now going to be on the west side of downtown, which is kind of cool. Just across, that's on First Avenue, just across from Brick West Brewing. Cool. Beautiful location. My business partner, Nick, has great vision. The interiors is just absolutely gorgeous. So, when you got to work out, it's not bad being a beautiful, cool place.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
So he had great vision for that and worked with our manager, Christian, and they created just an absolutely beautiful space. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be fun finally to kind of get back open and get people in there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be what's like the layout for spin classes, yoga, TRX?
Yeah, so what's cool about it, for those who don't know the Union, yoga, spin, and TRX, we have two different studios. So we do TRX and yoga in one of our studios, and then we have a spin studio and our spin bikes in there. So of course now, totally socially distant and making sure that we have all of that, and we're really careful with all of that. We take that very seriously. But you walk in, gorgeous space. We're lucky, like our north side location, we have a Method juice bar in this as well. So cool. We call it the Method Outpost. So the Method is going to be there. So if you're done with class, you want to get a juice or a smoothie or an acai bowl or something like that, we have it right there. We actually are able to open the doors, and hopefully without we get past the smoke and everything like that, we'll open the doors and actually hang out front, have some chairs and tables to sit out there.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But yeah, you walk in. The front desk is on the left, and you're able to go in, check in, all of that, grab your shoes, and then go back down the hallway, and then our two studios are back there.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's great.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
It's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
I know
open.
all the college students are going to love that. I know.
We're lucky. We have such a wonderful relationship with the college community here, and they love our offering. They love our instructors. That whole thing is super special. Yeah. Like the Christian, our manager, she's done such a wonderful job of creating a really good community of people, particularly with GU and Eastern, and to grow that community of people who want to be together, they want to work out together, they hang out in other places together. So they've really come together and support each other, whether it's the front desk staff, whether it's the instructors. They're all really, really supportive. And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of nice for all of us.
Yeah,
we want that support.
Community. Most definitely. I know. I was just mentioning earlier to you, my first spin class ever was with Christian, and I was like, what did I get myself into?
It's hard, right? Yeah.
She was tough.
It's hard, but it's motivating and fun. And I think a lot of people are intimidated their first time. Mm-hmm. And hopefully when they come to the Union, they're welcomed. And if they kind of even announce like, I've never done this before, we love that. And our front desk staff will take care of you, bring you back, make sure that you get, the instructor will make sure you get fitted on your bike. So we want to be really conscious and careful of that with all of our athletes. But we love those people that want to give it a try, and I think that's incredibly important. And we kind of have to get over that little fear factor, like, I don't know what to expect. Yeah. But if you get in there and you actually give it a shot, hey, you know what? Sit in the back of the room. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Grow your own pace.
Grow your own pace, and hopefully you'll hear our instructors say, hey, this is your class, right? Like, I'm kind of leading it, and I'll tell you what I want you to try or do. But if really at the end of the day it's your class, so like, Ryan, if this is your thing, like, just do what feels right. And I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, most definitely. You guys are very welcoming. I felt very welcome the first time I went in there. And first ride's free still, correct?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So if people want to go in,
absolutely,
try it out. First ride's free.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I also want to talk to you a little bit about Access2Experience. Yeah. You're so busy, but that one really caught my eye. You kind of take people in the workplace, put them in classrooms, and you put students into the workplace as well.
Well, so what we're trying to do, Access2Experience, I kind of joke that it's like a Match.com, if you will. Yeah. We're not trying to pair any dating, but what we're trying to do is actually get professionals, that we've had a number of professionals, I think over 150 or 200 different professionals in Spokane in like over 30 different industries, sign up and have a profile. A lot of them use their LinkedIn account, and they can link their LinkedIn account on there. They sign up on there and say, hey, you know what? I'm willing to help out a teacher. If that means coming in and speaking in a classroom, if that means just helping them with some curriculum and saying, hey, you want a real world perspective, I'm happy to do that. Or a lot of them, it's we're looking for an advisory person for our engineering committee or our computer science class or whatever. They want to create advisory committees. That's a great way to do it well, to find people. So then educators, teachers, counselors, they can go on, sign up as well, and then they can start searching for people in all these different industries, right? So I'm looking for an architect, I'm looking for an engineer, I'm looking for whatever. They can go on there and find them, and then reach out and then ask for whatever they're looking for, like I said, to come speak in their classroom, which I think is incredibly invaluable, and that's why I started Access2Experience 7 or 8 years ago. We developed it at one of our web development companies, 7.2. My partner and I had created Access2Experience because we believed in there needed to be a better connection between industry and education, and giving students a chance to hear from professionals about all the different job types that are out there. There's so many great things that they could be doing, and that they just, my joke is that they know about doctors, firemen, teachers,
exactly.
And there's only 4 or 5 that they really kind of wrap their brain around, that they've kind of seen and heard growing up. But when they hear about what an environmental engineer does and the field work that they do, and they're like, oh, that sounds brilliant. Like, I want to be a part of something like that. I think it's really beautiful. That opens their mind to a whole new opportunity that maybe they had never considered before. So it's kind of a cool marriage between the real world of kind of professional and what's going on, and education, and trying to help out our educators, bring in some good people.
And it also allows students just to find other opportunities to find something that they're passionate about as
well.
And
if I've seen it as well, where teachers will reach out to a business and say, hey, do you have any internships, or could I send any students your way, right? So we're creating those connections. Those professional experiences are really, really important for students to start to understand what it is they are passionate about, where do they want to go, what does that look like, and helping them build their network of professionals out there that can help them.
And how can people get involved with that?
They just have to sign up. They can go to access2experience.com. So access, the number 2, experience.com, or the number 2, A2E.com. And then if you're a professional, you can sign up there so that you can be then requested by a teacher. And if you're an educator and you want to do that, you can sign up and do that and start searching for people as school is starting, right? You could do Zoom calls or whatever, virtual meetings with these people, and have them speak to your class. So it's the perfect time to really start utilizing these people and start bringing in that real world into the classroom.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm sure those results are showing, definitely, just with students, especially right now. I feel like with COVID, everyone's kind of redirecting their focus to other passions or other things that they're doing. So I feel like that's a great resource to have, especially here in Spokane.
I agree. Thank you.
Especially speaking about passions, you're writing a book currently. Yes, it's called Be More Like You.
Be More
All
Like You.
All centered around the main character, Rory. Can you tell me a little bit about your book?
Yeah, so Be More Like You, it started from a presentation that I gave mostly to college students, which was, it was titled, What I Wish Someone Had Told Me. And it's this idea of I was given this platform to go in and all right, Tyler, let them know whatever you want to know. You obviously have been in the working world a while, and what would you tell somebody back in your shoes back in college? And so I had this, I started kind of this presentation about finding and uncovering your passion. What are you truly passionate about? What does that look like? And then, what does it look like to go and get informational interviews, job shadows, internships, and I really started to share some of my philosophies on how to go about that. So much so that it kind of resonated with a number of people, and they're like, this is really good content. You should do something with it. So I was kind of inspired to maybe put it into a book and see if all right, if these people found it interesting, maybe there's others that would find that. So I started writing early this year in January, and just kind of diligently putting that down. And I wrote it as a story instead of writing almost like a business book or a nonfiction kind of book. That way, I wrote it as a story. I wanted it to be more something you get into,
easy to follow
along. And so it is about, our main character's name is Rory, and it's really about him. He doesn't completely know what he wants to do, and he's in college, and he's already he's getting a civil engineering degree because his mom told him that he was good at, kind of taking things apart and putting them back together, and that he kind of had an engineering mind, and he didn't really know any better. And when he told his mom's friends, hey, I think I'm going to study engineering, it sounded really good, and that sounds wow. And so he kind of liked that, right? But was he truly passionate about it? know.
Yeah.
And so he kind of recognizes this, and he's kind of shrugs his shoulders. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And his mom's like, hey, I have this woman that I want you to meet. She's an old friend of mine. She's been super successful in business. She's had, she's a serial entrepreneur. She loves talking with students. She likes to help them along the way. And so he's like, yeah, I'll take whatever I can get, like whatever, because I need to figure this out. So when he actually starts to meet with her on a regular basis, her name's Aaliyah. When he starts meeting with Aaliyah on a regular basis, she starts to help him uncover what it is he's truly passionate about. And I actually built this framework called the Ideas Framework.
Yeah.
And the Ideas Framework is it's a phased approach to really starting to identify what it is you're passionate about and kind of who you are as a human being, what that is. And then what are the steps to take to actually start to get those informational interviews, to get those job shadows, to get those internships, so that you can actually start to do some experiences and see what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
I think there's a really weird deal right now, and maybe this has always been this way, where fear creeps into our college students and our post high school students, in the sense of like, okay, I just have to, like, these next steps are so critical, right? So I have to get I have to really dial in my major and make sure it's correct. And then I have to make sure I get the right job shadow and the right internship so I can get the right job. And it's like, that's a myth, like an absolute myth. Yeah. There's, and I think even it scares us a little bit that it causes fear in us that then we even potentially don't act, and because we're not sure if we can get the right internship or do that. And the truth is, it's a windy path. There's so much to be learned, and that's what Aaliyah is trying to tell Rory in the book, that there's so much to be learned along the way, and that you really have to understand that, hey, like, you're going to learn something here, and you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. You're going to learn something here, you're going to like it or you're not going to like it, and you're only building these experiences and growing, your range of kind of what you like, what you don't like, and that will then help you later on in life truly dial in what it is to help find fulfillment, purpose, happiness. And for all of us, that's really it. So one of the bylines in the book is really about is answering the big question of, what do I want to do with my life and how do I get there? So I felt like I had a little bit of insight on, hey, if you follow this approach, you might somehow sort of get down in the right direction. Exactly. I believe that it's a good way to go, and it can really help students kind of figure that out and help give them kind of a push in the right direction. Yeah,
most definitely. I feel like that really does direct towards the college demographic for sure. Even high school, just coming out of high school, like, you're in this new environment, this new setting that you're like, okay, I gotta get my life together. But in reality, like, you're switching your major a couple times, like, you don't have a set like internship that's leading you to the job you really want.
And I think there's this idea that you have to have it all figured out or have done all these right steps by 22 so that you're like in the real world and you're successful.
Yeah, no.
A, how are we defining success, right? Like, a lot of people would define success, and I think too many of us define success as, well, I have a good paying job and I'm making money, and like that's success.
Secure.
I know a lot of people who have that and they're completely miserable. Yeah. Like, that's a really horrible existence. My joke is that I would get on a plane and I would talk to people and sit down and I'd be like, how you doing? I'm like, and they'd be like, oh gosh, I can't wait. I'm so glad it's Thursday. The Friday's coming, and we're getting into the weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're bummed because like you're like your job sucks so bad that you can't wait for the weekend to come, that's not a good existence, right? So how do we avoid that?
And
how do we get people?
Shouldn't feel like work.
So my also the approach for me that I've kind of taken in this book is, so often people will start to look at a job type, right? So a teacher, a doctor, an engineer. They'll look at the job type first, instead of looking at the industry first. Yeah. So I'm trying to flip the script a little bit and get people to understand, like, hey, what are you, Ryan, truly passionate about? If you started to be introspective, you started to look a little bit more about your life, you started to really start to peel that back and got into that, and you started to actually look at where your interests and passions were and what they look like, there are industries, big industries around all of those. So in the book, my main character, Rory, actually starts to understand that I'm really passionate about basketball. And I think it's very typical that a lot of students like see the pinnacle of a job, right? So they see like the person, whether it's the entertainment industry, and they see the people at the top, and they want to be that singer or whatever. But then they're like, I'll never be that. Well, wait a minute. The entertainment industry is a really cool industry, and there's a lot of really cool jobs. So if you start to look at the industry first and go, you know what, I want to be one of those people that wakes up every single day, gets to go to a job in an industry that I absolutely love. If you start with that and then start to look at the actual job types within that, and you start to look at what kind of person you are, hopefully do a few personality tests, understand kind of what your skills and things are, and then start to apply that and start to find jobs that fit that within those industries, I believe, and I think this is totally true, you'll be way happier, way more fulfilled, find purpose in life. And that, to me, is way more important. And I would say that's more success. And that's important.
You're around that environment that you originally thought you wanted to be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And too often it's dismissed, oh, I can never do that. I can't. And we limit ourselves. And that's kind of sad. You totally could be in a really fantastic industry that you love if you just like live into it. And hopefully this ideas framework that I've built will help people understand, like, okay, how do I actually go about that? I just have to follow these steps, do this. And I'm going to be real with you. There's a lot of work that you have to put in, right? It doesn't just fall into your lap. No one's going to do it for you.
I agree.
It really is a prescriptive approach about helping you understand that and then going out and actually doing it, right? So the ideas framework it's actually an acronym, and the E is exploration, and that means you going, doing, making it happen, and actually, learning from those experiences. Yeah,
most definitely. I'm glad you said that. You have to work for it.
So true.
I live by a quote by Coach Valvano from NC State. He said, how do you go from where you are now to where you want to be? You have to have a dream, a goal, and you have to be willing to work for it. And so I just feel I just feel like take what you will from that, but I just feel like that's relates to your book so much. It's like you really gotta find your passions, find your goals, find your dreams, and don't give up on them. Just keep rolling with it.
Well, that third one, willing to work for it, right? A lot of us want to figure out the dream, and we'll sit on the couch and say, oh, I'd love to do this, or like I want to work in the video game industry. Awesome. There are a lot of really fantastic jobs. You can't just keep sitting on the couch playing video games and think that that's going to happen, right? You've got to go figure that out and do that, and hopefully believe in yourself enough that, like, I can do this. I can figure this out. I can make this happen. And I truly believe they can. The path is out there. They just have to put in a little bit of that work to make it real.
Exactly. Yeah. And down that path too, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Something might not happen the way you wanted, but it might redirect you to another passion, and hopefully meeting new people and having those experiences for sure. Yeah.
Well, I start the preface of the book talks about like why are you passionate about this thing and not that thing?
Yeah.
Like why are you into and like to go to this but you don't like to go to that? Like we are wired different ways. And if we start to understand that and live into that, then that's where we are going to find that happiness and fulfillment and purpose, right? So but you have to be a little bit introspective and reflective on your own life and what am I passionate about? And dream big. Like don't limit yourself.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, right.
That
it's so
mentality.
Easy, so true, right?
Yes.
And believe that yes, I can figure this out and I can get into that industry and I can make that happen. And it might not be the dream job right out of the gates.
Yeah.
Right?
But you got to work for it.
You got to work for it, and you got to then keep working for it and keep networking and keep growing. And then and what you think is now your dream job might not even be your dream job at all. You might along that journey find that, oh my gosh, this is really what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. And truth be told, it might be in something completely different. And I think that's a hard thing too. We think that there's this fallacy that we've kind of lived with all these years that we're kind of living into this one path that we're meant to be for the rest of our lives. No, like there's so many, you could totally be down a path and then you might meet somebody along the way who does something completely different and you love what they do and you hear about it and you're like, oh my gosh, that is really where I want to go.
Yeah.
Great. Then what does that look like to start to pivot a little bit, to start to go in that direction and kind of make that happen? It is absolutely real, and you can do that and make it. It's so true.
Super inspiring. You just
thank you.
You make me feel like I can run through a brick wall.
You can.
Why can't you? Yeah, exactly. But thank you so much, Tyler, for joining us today. I really appreciate you and all the work you're doing. I'm excited for your book.
Thanks,
look out for it. Be More Like You by Tyler Lafferty. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Ryan Meza. Have a great day.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and a description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
When building a home or considering a major remodel, who are you going to choose? The Spokane Home Builders Association is an organization that works to elevate professionalism in the residential construction industry. We promote, protect, and educate for our community, building our community one home at a time. We are the Spokane Home Builders Association.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.